Hey there planners, and welcome to Catastrophe Solutions. My name's Joel, on my right I have Daniel, and on my left I have Curtis. And today we're going to be talking about one of the most commonly talked about catastrophes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
A zombie apocalypse. Now, we all know that it's very improbable to happen, but it's still a good thing to theorise about.
Yeah.
So, I think it's important for us to actually try and find an average zombie. Is that probably the best way to say it?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, because every media of zombies has it a little differently. From Shaun of the Dead, where they just walk and be done, to World War Z, where they infect and are absolutely crazy.
Completely vicious.
Completely vicious. So, we're going to talk a bit about media of films and games. I would say books, but unfortunately none of us really read.
We can, but we just choose not to.
Exactly. So we're going to talk a bit about games and media that we all know quite a bit about. We all have certain ones which we know more than others. Like, I don't know much about World War Z, or Z, depending on how, depends
Kind
how
of
you
know a
pronounce
bit.
it. But Dan knows quite a bit. Me and Curtis know a lot about 7 Days to Die.
Yeah.
And Dan doesn't. So we'll just talk a bit about the games and the films, and we'll just see where it goes. Alright, so which one should we start with? Ones we've already talked
Do
about?
games if you want.
Games?
Yeah.
Alright.
Games?
So the two main games we know a bit about, which is 7 Days to Die for me and Curtis, and as a group a bit about the zombies in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Now, let's start with the Call of Duty ones, because Curtis, you know quite a lot about the Black Ops series CODs.
Yeah.
I've played them a little bit and watched quite a bit of it on YouTube, but can you discuss about the main zombies and probably the most popular Black Ops game, Black Ops 2?
Yeah, well, I think it's one of the most populars. I used to play it a lot. And on zombies, there would be just like regular zombies, like really slow, stupid, small groups that would just try and attack you and bite you. And the higher the round that you got to, the faster they were. Well, not faster, but the more resilient they were.
The more deadly they became.
Yeah, and the more they swarmed in groups and the longer the waves lasted. However, there was also another type of zombie, which not many people actually figured out.
Is it the one which I have a weird nickname for?
Yeah.
The monkey cornfield zombie?
Yeah. It's like a little monkey that runs around on the floor and it like jumps at you and pounces on your screen. And it doesn't do much damage at all, but it like really slows you down. And it like blocks your vision almost completely and you've got to knife it to get it off.
Or you have a friend shoot it off.
Yeah.
And
But I played alone a lot, so I was just kind of like, just knifed them all.
They only happen though during the transition from the maps, don't they? With Cornfield.
During like the cornfield paths where the bus goes on transit.
Yeah.
Like it goes through cornfields or it goes through these little rundown tunnels.
Yeah. Like I know you say that it's Infinite Warfare that you played, Dan, about the clown zombies.
Yeah. That's like the worst type I've ever run into anyway. Because anyone who's played, I don't know if it's like any other kind of like COD game, but in this one, there are clown zombies that will blow up in your face if you do not kill them in good time.
I know that there's something very similar in Modern Warfare 3 Special Ops mode, but they have just Danger Corps suicide bombers.
Yeah, because they are.
They
Pretty
are.
much.
There was no way around that. But then, something that in Black Ops 2 and I think Black Ops 3 and probably Black Ops 1.
In a lot of the Black Opses, yeah.
Yeah, in a lot of the Black Opses, you have the zombie dogs.
Yeah. Once you reach a certain round, I believe it's around 4 to 7, one of them rounds, the whole round spawns these zombie dogs, which are much faster than regular zombies, and they chase you down and they explode, like when you kill them, but they also attack you.
I'm not sure what I'm more scared of, zombie dogs or zombie clowns. They both blow up.
Yeah.
I'd just say both.
But the zombie dogs, when they explode, they don't really hurt you that much, so you should be fine if you kill them.
Okay, that's good then. I know that there's a lot of games actually that we've done a bit of research on has a lot of zombie creatures as well. One we mentioned in the intro, 7 Days to Die.
Yeah.
Now, in 7 Days to Die, you have zombie dogs, you have zombie bears, vultures.
Yeah, and then there's just regular wildlife that will attack you.
Yeah, like obviously you have some of the good ones like pigs and chickens and
deer.
deers. But then you have bears, wolves, coyotes, and a few others.
Yeah.
And talking about 7 Days to Die, I think it's something that it's very important that we bring up about mutations. Now, they don't specifically call them mutations in the game, but there's 3 main types of zombies in 7 Days to Die, depending on how high of a level you become. You have the regular walkers, which on normal settings, they walk during the day and they run at night. Then you have the ferals, which have bright yellow eyes, and they run during the day, if I do count correct, and have double the health. And then you have radiated zombies, which are basically like a bright green colour. And they have, again, they run during the day, they have double the health of the ferals, and they also regenerate. So it's quite good to try and kill them as soon as you can. You don't want to just knock them down and then obviously they will regenerate.
However, they are also extremely rare.
Yes, they only appear quite a lot in the later half of the game. Like 7 Days to Die, if you do not know at home, is a game where you basically have 7 days to build up a base and a horde of zombies will come kill you. There's zombies all around the world that you got to kill to get your loot and everything, but the main hordes come at 7 days. And
because of the blood moon thing.
Yeah, because of the blood moon hordes, and basically the screen goes full on red. Or I say the screen, the sky. So the later hordes you have, which are obviously more about like when you get to like day 70, which that is probably how long, like 70 hours worth of playing most of the time.
A lot.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
And that's when they would more turn up. Same with some like demolisher zombies, which has a button on the chest, which if you shoot it, they'll blow up. You have some feral whites, which are just stronger ferals, spider zombies, and just a bunch of zombies like that.
But yeah, there's like 3 main groups of zombies, isn't there? The regular zombies, the tough zombies.
Yeah.
And then it was the special zombies, like some of the ones you mentioned, the demolisher, the crawler. There's also one, the screamer, isn't there?
Oh yes, the screamer. I almost forgot about that. A screamer zombie is basically, it will just be on its own usually, but it will start to scream, and that scream will start to bring in, not as bad as a blood moon horde, but it will bring in a horde.
It like spawns a horde of random zombies off somewhere, and they come towards you.
Like there is small hordes around the world, but the screamer hordes are basically like the jump from a small little horde with maybe about 8 zombies to about or like how much is it in an actual horde? You probably look about 100.
Yeah.
So it bridges the gap. So you're more looking about 60. Now, I feel like we've talked a bit about games at the moment. I know these are the games we know the most about, and I know Dan's probably itching to talk about a few films.
I don't mind listening to all the games, but yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of zombie films out there. Not all of them are serious. In fact, probably the best ones aren't, like Shaun of the Dead and Zombieland.
Yeah.
Then you have like the few, like World War Z.
Oh God, when we talk about that one.
Yeah, those zombies, man, they are brutal.
Yeah.
Like if they fight, they will not like hesitate to.
They live
you know.
to infect.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's like one of the first scenes in the film when they're like trying to go through the city, and then there's the whole infection going around, and that guy gets bitten. He just like has a seizure on the floor, and the next thing you know, he's a zombie, and he's just sprinting around trying to infect everyone else.
Like,
because it's a really fast-acting type of thing in World War Z.
Yeah.
I've seen this on like the posters. Don't actually know if it happens in the film. Does the zombies climb up together to get a helicopter?
Yeah, they pillar. The people call it pillaring. The zombies like climb on top of each other against a wall in order to try and like climb over. So they just kind of sacrifice a lot of themselves to be able to go over and infect people.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Now, if you can't tell, this is a very crazy zombie story. So we'll be taking quite a few parts from it, but it won't, like the crazy pillaring zombies won't really make it to average zombie. We're going to be talking about later on.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's kind of like they are like a hive mind, like a bee colony or something.
that's actually quite a cool way to describe it.
Yeah, because they can easily communicate with each other without having to talk or
Yeah.
like grumble. They just kind of like build
Are
themselves.
we sure zombies are actually dumber than humans?
Well, like,
Well, we don't
you
really know.
True, don't they?
Army of the Dead. That's like another kind of thing where
Yeah.
it kind of proves that zombies might not be as dumb as we think. Because as we were discussing earlier, there's like a hierarchy of power, kind
It
of.
is quite a new film, so spoilers ahead.
It's not that
Just
new, but it
watch it,
was
man.
like a year or two.
Well, yeah, it was. I think it
I thought it was
was
in a few months.
early last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Because it wasn't long after the Snyder Cut was released.
They actually hibernate in Army of the Dead.
Do they?
Yeah, like a whole horde of them just hibernates in this building,
Oh,
and like
right,
there's
yeah.
a small path that the survivors have to, the adventurer people, I don't know what they are, the robbers
Yeah.
have to go through, and the woman at the back nudges one of them and has to kill them before they wake up. But then another one wakes up to the sound of that one dying, and so on and so on, and it just kind of wakes them all up.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually realise that they were hibernating. I thought they were just dead when they first were.
It sounds like a very far-fetched film, like going into people saying, alright, so we want a group of zombies in Las Vegas, but then we want some thieves to go steal something in a vault.
Well,
we want
yeah,
Las Vegas
if you
full of
watch-
it before it gets nuked.
If you watch the film, though, like it does all like kind of
Makes sense.
Yeah, it like fits together quite nicely, and it is like, in my opinion, I think it's really well done. Like, because it's a weird story to like pitch to someone, so I think they handled it quite well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the hierarchy thing is also like the main dude is supposed to be this like really tough, unkillable thing because it was supposed to be like this super soldier weapon for the army, but like something went wrong and they crashed and then it got leaked.
Is that like
And
the
then
Super
started
Soldier
biting
scene
everyone.
that just went
Because
wrong?
it wasn't Marvel, that's why.
Captain America becomes a zombie?
Yeah,
Well,
I
it does
can't,
actually
I
in the
can't
What
believe we're not even talking about Marvel zombies in this episode.
If we had more time, we obviously would.
Oh yeah,
100%.
definitely.
Now,
I mean, Iron Man wouldn't be able to use his suit.
Well, no.
True, actually. I didn't think about it like that. Well, on the opposite side of the spectrum still is Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
That's one that me and Dan...
I looked it up yesterday. Apparently, it's like, according to people, it's like the second best zombie film of all time.
What was first?
I think it's like Dawn of the Dead. So
Yeah.
So I have to
Yeah.
watch that one.
yeah, I haven't seen it.
It was
yet,
really high
but-
up.
Like,
Yeah.
I know Shaun of the Dead, that because me and Dan love all the Cornetto films. Like we've seen World's End. How many times you reckon?
Well over 20 now.
Well over 20 together.
20.
And
Yeah.
well, when it came to Shaun of the Dead, I was a bit tedious because it's kind of a bad thing. I don't like blood and gore, and we talk about zombies, but oh well.
That's a good topic.
Yeah, I'm not one for blood and gore, so I very much stay away from that type of film.
Yeah, there are certain scenes in that film where I have to tell you to look away. Because, yeah.
I wish I could try
Because he doesn't
disagree,
like
but
it.
it's true.
But one of the best scenes in that film is when that like Mary comes into their garden, and
Okay,
it's
I
like,
can watch that scene.
and like he's telling her like he got out of a relationship like last night or something, and then he like tells her to F off and he shoves her on that.
Isn't it like
I can't remember what it is.
Carousel or something? Like a carousel?
Yeah, something like that, and then like, it just goes right through and she gets off again.
And this
Yeah.
is before they know what the zombies are actually real.
Yeah, they're pretty much like, it's like an idiot's guide to the zombie apocalypse, basically.
They're so stupid they don't realise zombies exist.
Exactly.
Like they even like try and shy away from the word zombies. Which
They're-
that actually appears in quite a lot of media, doesn't it? Nobody wants to call them just zombies.
Well, yeah, 'cause then it makes it all real.
Yeah.
True. But it is real.
Well, yeah, but mentally they're not prepared to, deal with it as a real thing.
True.
I mean, like, you can kind of tell it wasn't a
It's-
serious film when they decided to go to a pub of all locations
Yeah.
to be safe. And we all know how
I
that
mean,
goes down.
it's just kind of England.
it
Really.
is very British, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair. And also when they just start making Molotov cocktails in the pub.
Yeah.
And when the jukebox starts playing and they start singing
It's a waste of
Queen.
alcohol.
Yeah. Kind of sucks.
I'm pretty sure I'd rather throw a Molotov cocktail than get drunk in the zombie apocalypse.
Well, you don't want to feel the pain, so you might as well drink yourself to death.
Get numb.
I don't know how to
Or,
respond to
or
that.
just drink until you can't feel anything.
Yeah, there you go.
How are you
Solutions.
going to fight the zombies? Like a full
Who said I was going to fight them?
No, it become like a pub fight. Like in the film when you get like a pool cue, you start whacking them.
Yeah, I didn't know where their thinking was behind a pool cue against a zombie.
To be fair, it's better than the fist.
Well, yeah, but yeah. Should we move on to TV shows?
I don't know much about TV shows of zombies except
We've seen Daybreak.
I have seen Daybreak. I was
Yeah.
like, forget
Yeah.
about that one.
That's quite a good one, actually.
I've seen Daybreak as well. I've only seen like the first season of Walking Dead. That's about it, 'cause I don't really watch TV shows.
I've seen very bits of Walking Dead,
Yeah.
mainly with the character deaths, which is probably not good if I want to start watching it. But yeah,
Obviously, if you can't
You just get
tell,
attached to one of them that dies.
yeah.
that
Yeah.
happens a lot more in media. Like, I'm not going to say obviously what happens in the film, but me and Dan just went to the cinema recently to watch a new Kingsman,
Great film.
and a character who you didn't think would die died.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to say it because it is, as we're recording, it's a very brand new film.
God, that shocked me, by the way.
It shocked me as well.
Gasped very loud in the
But-
cinema.
If you can't tell, Dan is the one that watches most of the films and TV shows, as Curtis knows most about the games, and I'm kind of the middle ground.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you want to talk a bit about some of the TV shows?
So Walking Dead is probably one of the most famous zombie TV shows, I would say.
I've been wanting to watch it for ages, but I know the blood and gore is going to make me feel sick.
Get Disney Plus.
I actually have Disney Plus now.
Then watch it. Brave it.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's not. I mean, the zombies in that are just like your typical walkers. They literally call them walkers.
Yeah.
But of course, they will eat you alive if given the chance. And I think the main kind of. Because it's not necessarily about the zombies so much, it's about the other groups of people.
Yeah.
you
It's
got
the people that are more dangerous than the zombies.
Yeah.
Unless the zombies are in huge hordes
Well,
that
yeah.
come after you.
Yeah.
I know that with The Walking Dead, they do at the time go into a prison, which is something I want to elaborate on our next part. And
Yeah.
I think it's actually probably good, even though I've all seen Daybreak, they are just very casual zombies,
Yeah.
very similar to...
See, Daybreak are
Walking
to me, they're the most, or they're the least dangerous zombies I think that I've seen.
Well, yeah, but they do run instead of just being
Well,
able
yeah.
to walk.
But it's like what was it when what's the main guy called again?
Oh god, I haven't seen it in so long.
Oh,
Well, the main guy.
Yeah.
I know Sam's the one he wants to rescue.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Was it Josh?
Could be, I think.
I think it's
that rings
Josh.
a bell.
Maybe, yeah.
So I think he stabs some zombie or something, and they just run off.
Oh
they
yeah,
don't-
with
they
his
don't try and
katana,
fight
he
back.
stabs them.
He stabs it
and then
it
they just
runs
run
off.
away.
Yeah. So it's.
Like, that was like a very comedy show.
Oh yeah, it's like a.
Yeah.
It's very aimed at teens, I think, as well.
Yeah, which is
Why we watched it.
I think now is probably a good point we go on to the next part.
Yes.
Which we basically talked a bit about the average zombie, and we're going to, I think, a good middle ground, if you guys want to throw in any points, is at the start they'll be quite walkers, and maybe some of them run, most of them walk, and later on, the more we get into it, maybe a month or two in, they start to mutate and become more vicious, which then kind of levels out with our level with our weapons and protection. Is that a good average?
Yeah.
Right, so now we'll talk a bit about what we would do in the zombie apocalypse. Now, we're no experts, because
Obviously.
nobody in the earth is an expert for zombies.
Yeah.
But from how much research we've done and us being very teen boys, it's kind of... we talk about zombies a lot, so I think we know quite a bit.
Yeah, all those sleepovers, gets you really prepared for a conversation like this.
No, literally, we're going back quite a few years now, probably about 4 years. Me and Dan
I'd
had
say
a
so.
sleepover, and for literally the whole night, I had a whole A4 book, and we just kept writing stuff about zombies.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
still have the book.
Wow.
Does sound like a solid sleepover.
It was.
Just without sleep.
Yeah, Cornetto trilogy, zombie apocalypse
Yeah.
talk. You got it sorted there.
And we had pizza that night, didn't we?
Yeah, but
Zombie.
more important stuff at hand.
The zombies are more important than pizza.
Exactly. You know.
Alright. Actually, in the zombie apocalypse.
Well,
I think
some
that's right.
would argue that it's not. So.
Well, yeah, but, Anyway, we're here to talk about zombies, not food.
Okay, so I've got a few questions about different scenarios. Let's put it in
Yeah.
the zombie apocalypse.
Go for it.
And one that we keep discussing because we can't all agree on it is: would you stay on a run in the zombie apocalypse or would you bunker down?
See, I'm really confused about this one. Because, of course, if you bunker down, you could have everything you need. But then Curtis pointed out to me that if it gets overrun, you are screwed.
Yeah.
But if you stay on the run, there's always a risk of running into a horde.
You never
or
have a solid location where you think, okay, I'm going to get a good night's
you
sleep.
basically you're in a bit of a bad situation. Whatever you do, I mean. Preferably, you wouldn't be in an apocalypse at all, but
Well, that isn't what we're talking about.
this isn't what we're
today.
talking about. We have to talk about
normal
what if we were. So,
Yeah.
I would probably stay on the run. I'd imagine so.
So you changed your mind?
I did, yeah.
I'm the opposite
Because, of
still.
course, you can go to different places and stay there for a few days. But then I'd say after those few days, then you
after a
just
week at
run.
the most,
Yeah.
you gotta
It
leave.
depends for me. If I'm bunkering down in the middle of the city, then no, I would rather go on a run and get out. But for me especially, and I keep talking about to these guys, I would love to rather go to a small island which has a little bit of civilization, so we know at least we can live there, and then bunker down there. And Curtis, every time I say this, always has a scenario for me. What is it?
What if they're able to walk under the water? Because since they're rotting corpses, we don't know if they'll float, and even if they do, they won't be able to drown.
There
So
must
they
be
would just
some
be able
sort
to
of,
float forever.
scientific explanation if they would.
Well, I'd say no because a zombie apocalypse hasn't happened yet.
But they know about the body, how the body would
Yeah,
act if it's
If your
yeah,
body rots and gets bloated because it's been in the water for a while, then it will just kind of float.
would they float?
But that's because it's been in the water already. So if it's just rotting and then it goes into the water, does it sink? Does it float? Because it's a body, it would sink, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I would try and cover almost every entrance if I could.
Well, yeah, but then it would just.
Yeah, but it's an
you'd
island,
literally
you
have to
have to,
have walls.
Yeah, but a lot of it is going to be just plain cliff face, and I'm not going to expect a zombie to have some climbing picks on it.
You never know. You don't know where these people were when they got infected.
I'm sorry, I still don't. think
Just one
someone-
holding climbing axes. Just
Pretty much, yeah. You don't know.
that would be a really good weapon, or really cool to use.
What,
Yeah.
a climbing pick?
Yeah, just whack someone in the face with it. A zombie, person, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about survival, I guess. So.
Yeah. Well, I
guess
mean,
you're
I would
right.
only attack a person if they were attacking me. So.
Well, yeah, you just wouldn't do it
Say
out of your
that to
out.
cover up from the police.
Well, I wouldn't want to kill anything at all, really, unless I genuinely have to.
I think that's actually quite a good point about you
Yeah.
mentioned about food. You said kill anything.
Well, yeah, I would probably kill animals. I'm sorry,
Well,
but,
yeah,
that
nothing
was
really
good
changes.
but
there.
the risk with that is you don't know if it's tamed meat.
Yeah, you don't know how their meat works, and you don't know if cooking it will get rid of the pathogens or whatever.
So you don't know what they have on them already. If they have if they
And
are
that
infected.
could be how it spread in the first place. You guys don't know yet
Exactly.
because it's still early.
So are you guys, even knowing what you just said, are you going to become vegan?
No,
No.
Okay then.
it's worth the risk.
Well, the thing is, this would lead us on to our next question that me and Curtis always have a little argument about. That, my dad used to be a butcher, so he knows how to handle the meat. So I think I'll be fine there. But you always say that you would rather go out in the zombie apocalypse on your own.
Yeah,
Can you
and
explain why?
I'm not really that fond of cutting things open. So, I mean,
I'll be concerned
I
you
would-
said you were.
I would still have to deal with it to be able to get the meat and survive, but I'd probably be traumatized.
Yeah, I was in the Scouts for a long time, a couple of years ago, before COVID, and we went to this campus or something, and we had to cook pheasants. Now that's not just getting the pheasant breast already and then slap it on the fire. No, you actually have to take the dead pheasant, like pluck off all the feathers,
Oh,
like get off all the feathers, and then cut out the breast yourself.
yeah.
Now, a lot of the boys there, I'm not going to say who, but they got carried away with butchering the pheasants.
Sounds like something
looking-
I would have done.
I was thinking when I was little, I was like, oh, I would really like to join the Scouts. Now I won't.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of vegetarians there, and there was a lot of the girls there were annoyed at us for like doing what we were told to do,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just kind of
So,
think
from what I'm gathering, you was one of the ones that kept cutting.
I didn't keep cutting. I did what I was told to. I cut out the breast and then slapped it on a fire and ate it afterwards.
Yeah.
I ate a
Okay.
bit of feather, which is annoying.
We don't have much
So-
longer to talk, but I think some of that is quite prominent is weapons.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to give you two scenarios here. Find out whether zombie apocalypse at your home tonight. What is your first go-to weapon?
Something
And I
melee.
assume none of you have a gun at your house.
No.
Well, no.
Okay.
So
This
that
is
means you can't
England and
choose
we're
guns.
teenagers.
And the second scenario would be your dream loadout, I guess is...
Dream loadout.
I don't have a dream loadout. I just have a general idea of
Submachine
what I
gun,
might
pistol,
use.
melee weapons.
I mean, yeah,
No.
full armor. You know.
Well, I mean,
Fallout.
by the time this happens, I would imagine that I've spent loads of money on like a replica sword from The Witcher, and I would probably use that sword. Whether
Yeah.
it was sharp or not, I would sharpen it.
I know that you do have like a antique knife, don't you?
Yeah, bayonet one. Yeah.
I assume you would use that.
I mean, I'd have to sharpen it, but
Everyone
Yeah.
has like a sharpener knife thing in the kitchen.
well, yeah, but I just don't sharpen it because I don't need to use it, do I? It's like
I'd be
it's
concerned if you did sharpen it.
it would be cool, but I don't need to, and and I'd probably get it taken
Yeah,
off
but
me.
But I said that it would be taken like, let's say you found out tonight there's a zombie apocalypse, you would have time to sharpen.
I would definitely go to it and use that
Yeah.
because it's quite a cool.
I don't know
little
what I
knife
would
as
But
well.
if it broke out tonight, I don't think I would be able to have a weapon until I went out
I
scavenging.
mean, I've actually got to run
I'm
from
a
here.
guitar.
I've actually got to run from here first to my house, which is about 45 minutes away.
Well, yeah, but no, we're saying like if it breaks out while you're at home.
Like,
Oh, while I'm
Big
at home.
Boris
Yeah.
says it tonight.
Oh, then yeah, plenty of prep time for me.
Alright, I think we talked mainly about everything we need to talk about. One thing I do quickly want to mention is vehicles. Would you go in a car, or would you go on a bicycle, or would you just walk?
Well, see, with me, I would have a motorbike with this little trailer attached to the back, so I could store stuff in it, and I would be able to just carry on moving around and not have to
That's
stay
like
down
in-
for too long.
It's like in Daybreak, isn't it? That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Except he's got a skateboard.
well, no, there's like a guy who walks, like rides around. I think he's one of the cannibals, and he has a
Isn't
motorbike.
that-
Oh yeah, no, he's the head teacher, dude.
However, he puts kids in the back of his one, so it's probably best if you don't do
Yeah,
that.
if I don't do that, yeah.
Okay, I think I would have a car, just straight up, because it's nice and easy. You can...
Yeah, but cars are extremely fragile. Like,
I think
you hit one tiny thing, they crumple. So if you hit a zombie, you're just gonna get crashed.
Yeah, but on a motorbike, if they grab you, you're screwed.
Well, yeah, but you're going way too fast for them to grab you.
I think I'd still take a car. What about you?
I'd probably take a car, but I wouldn't go to. I'd go to make sure like countryside for a while until they start coming my way. Then I'll eventually move on because I won't want to constantly use the car because of lack of fuel that there will be. Because it's inevitable that there won't be much petrol. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think we've rounded out most of our points. Obviously, in the comments, you can criticise us or agree with us. Please be nice. And I think that's quite a good way to wrap it up. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
guys enjoyed it today?
It's pretty.
I think we
pretty
spoke
good.
about everything we needed to.
Yeah. I hope maybe in the future, if we are lucky enough, we'll do a part 2.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I can be asked.
Alright, thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would only attack a person if they were attacking me. So.
Well, yeah, you just wouldn't do it out
Same
of your
stuff
house.
for us.
Well, I would.
It's a waste of alcohol.
Yeah. That sucks.
We're going to talk a bit about media, or films and games. I would say books, but probably not really.
We can, but we just choose not to. We're in a bit of like a bad situation, whatever you do. I mean, preferably you wouldn't be in an apocalypse at all, but